Wreck of the Zanzibar by Michael Morpurgo. Chapter 1. Great Aunt Laura. My great aunt Laura died a few months ago. She was 100 years old. She had her cocoa last thing at night, as she usually did, put the cat out, went to sleep, and never woke up. There's not a better way to die. I took the boat across to Scilly for the funeral. Almost everyone in the family did. I met again cousins and aunts and uncles I hardly recognised, and who hardly recognised me. The little church on Bryer was packed, standing room only. Everyone on Bryer was there, and they all came from all over the Scilly Isles, from St Mary's, St Martin's, St Agnes and Tresco. We sang the hymns lustily because we knew Great Aunt Laura would enjoy a rousing send-off. Afterwards, we had a family gathering in her tiny cottage overlooking stinking Porth Bay. There was tea and crusty brown bread and honey. I took one mouthful, and I was a child again. Wanting to be on my own, I went up the narrow stairs of the room that had been mine when I came every summer for my holidays. The same oil lamp was by the bed, the same peeling wallpaper, the same faded curtains with the red sailing boats dripping through the waves. I sat down on my bed and closed my eyes. I was 8 years old again, and ahead of me were 2 weeks of sand and sea and boats and shrimping, and oyster catchers and gannets, and Great Aunt Laura's stories every night before she drew the curtains against the moon and left me alone in my bed. Someone called from downstairs, and I was back to now. Everyone was crowded into her sitting room. There was a cardboard box in the middle of the floor. "Ah, there you are, Michael," said Uncle Will. He was a little irritated, I thought. "Well, begin then." And a hush fell around the room. He dipped into the box and held up a parcel. "It looks as if she's left one for us each," said Uncle Will. Every parcel was wrapped in old newspaper and tied with string, and there was a large brown label attached to each one. Uncle Will read out the names. I had to wait some minutes for mine. There was nothing I particularly wanted, except Zanzibar, of course. But then everyone wanted Zanzibar. Uncle Will was waving a parcel at me. "Michael," he said, "here's yours." I took it upstairs and unwrapped it sitting on the bed. It felt like a book of some sort. And so it was. But not a printed book. It was a handmade, handwritten in pencil, the pages all sewn together, and the title on the cover read, "The Diary of Laura Perryman." And there was a watercolour painting on the front of a 4-masted ship keeling over in a storm and heading for the rocks. With the book there was an envelope. I opened it and read. "Dear Michael, when you were little I told you lots and lots of stories about Bryer, about the Isles of Scilly. You know about the ghosts on Samson, about the bell that rings under the sea of St Martin's, about King Arthur still waiting in his cave under the Eastern Isles. You remember? Well, here is my story, the story of me and my twin brother Billy, whom you never knew. How I wish you had. It is a true story, and I did not want it to die with me. When I was young, I kept a diary, not an everyday diary. I didn't write in it very often, just whenever I felt like it. Most of it isn't worth the reading, and I've already thrown it away. I've lived an ordinary sort of life, but for a few months, as long time ago, my life wasn't ordinary at all. And this is the diary of those few months. Do you remember you always used to ask where Zanzibar came from? You called him Marzipan when you were small. I never told you, did I? Never told anyone. Well, now you'll find out at last. Goodbye, dear Michael, and God bless you. Your great Aunt Laura. Oh, P.S. I hope you like my little sketches. I'm a better artist than I am a writer, I think. And when I come back in my next life, and I shall be a great artist. I've promised myself.